I am recording. I do have a YouTube channel, and I do post in my YouTube channel, and I will have the items there in the YouTube channel, and it will close caption the recording. So we will have that available. So when you first come into Blackboard, a couple things I want you to look at and I want you to do. One is you may come in on your activity stream, which will look something like this, or you might come in on your calendar, or you might come in on your messages. It's just how you have your Blackboard set up. Here is where you will set up your profile in Blackboard. So when you click on that, you can add an image. Please add an image. We are Zoom, and I don't get to see your smiling faces when I teach. So that is a challenge. I would like to be able to recognize you when you come into my office. And so it would be nice to have your picture in there. Please go ahead and use your pronouns. We're all humans. And as humans, I want to communicate with you the way you want to be communicated with. So I really want you to do that. So please do that communication. It will help me, and I want to be respectful of how you want to communicate. My goal for this course is to get you the information that you need to be successful. Physics, everybody's taking physics for a variety of reasons, and this format is a challenge. It is, for some of you, it's absolutely the best thing since sliced bread. For others of you, it's because you got to get through it, and this is the only way you can get through it. And here at Northern Oklahoma College, we offer a variety of formats. Many of the students have loved this format. As you can tell, I've had a lot of folks request it, and so this format is there to help you out. But that relies on you all. My goal is to make this as painless as possible. It is physics, and so you do have some challenges, but we really want to work through that. I am fairly responsive to emails, so when you come into your courses, this is what you will see. You have a couple of different ways to format. These are the cards format. This is the other way you can do it. You can have your Blackboard set up so it does that. And it will have your Blackboard courses for your stuff. This one, I try to use things that make sense for the course. So we're doing general physics. And so we'll go ahead and click open the course. Now your view, I'm going ahead and move to the student view. So you'll see, this is what you'll see when you open up your Blackboard. There's some things that I want to point out. First is you see the picture of me. You'll see the envelope here. This will direct message through Blackboard, and it's probably the best way to communicate a question. I am totally open to corresponding via email, but I know in the past we've had trouble between the OSU email accounts. Sometimes don't necessarily come through like we would like. This is a guaranteed way that that message will show up, and it has documentation that that message is there. Also, I get on the order of 200 emails a day. And even though I scan my emails to look for you guys, to look for names of students, there's the chance that I might miss it. I'm in Blackboard all the time, and it will tell me if I have a message. And it'll show up right there with a little number, and it'll tell me right away if I have a message. So this is probably the quickest way to get messages to me or to ask questions. And I can also communicate through there for grades, because this is an official way to work with the students. And I don't have to verify if you're sending me from an email from your home, a home email, or another email. So this is a really good way to communicate. The Zoom link for class is right there. We do have another Zoom link, and I'll show you that here in just a second. We have an office hour Zoom link. I am on the Tonkawa campus on Mondays and Wednesdays. I am on the Stillwater campus starting at about 8 o'clock in the morning to 11:20 in the morning on Tuesdays. So for those of you who are in Stillwater, that is a good time. If you want to come talk to me face to face, that's a great time to come do that. I'm on the Enid campus on Thursdays and on Fridays. I will have Zoom office hours starting at 10:30 in the morning until approximately 11:20. Tuesdays, it's a little iffier because I have a meeting that starts at about 11:10. So that one's a little different, but you can just jump in on the Zoom office hour link and I'll show you where that is. So, but if you have a question, please go ahead and start asking those questions. I try to respond very quickly. If you email me a question and I haven't responded in 24 hours, except over weekends or holidays, if I haven't responded in 24 hours, feel free to email me again because it's probably just gotten off to the bottom of my page and I didn't see it. That's why I think the message feature in Blackboard is really the way to go. You have instructor information for me. There's a little bit of background in me. I used to work in industry. I spent over 25 years in industry before I came back to teaching. You have my office hours calendar. It's right there. You've got office hours, you know, what are available. Here's the Zoom office hours link. It's right there. And if you need to schedule a meeting outside of those designated office hours, you can use this link and it goes directly to my calendar. So that gets you there. For those of you who are new to office hours, just a little bit of background information about office hours, you know, how to use them. So that's the kind of information about me. The other places, another feature of Blackboard that really is going to help you out is this calendar feature. If you click on the calendar, it will give you a calendar by day, or you can switch it to due dates, and this will show you your assignments via due dates. But if you do this and you click on my Zoom office hours, you're going to see the Zoom link is also right there to get to the office hours. So that will help you out. So that way you can work with that. Due dates, this will take you directly to your homework and your homework assignments. Excuse me. And you can click on those and go directly into them. We are going to be using WebAssign as our online homework, and we will be utilizing that quite a bit. So these first two are fairly early, primarily to make sure that you guys can get into WebAssign and we don't have any technical issues, because I really don't want us to be fighting technology. Technology's a challenge enough. We don't have to fight it on a daily basis. So those are in here. This student contract is just basically do it and you get the points. And it's to make sure you've been able to find the appropriate information. So those are in here. So you will also have homework that says active examples for practice. And you'll open that up and those will have 0 credit, that won't have any points associated with them. That's just there for you to have practice, because it's a step-by-step type of active examples. It's just there for utilize for you guys to be able to go through those step-by-step practices that are there. This class, I don't take attendance. I didn't sit down and try to ask who all is there. That takes time, and we have a better use of our time. So what I do for attendance, and the other reason I do it this way, Northern Oklahoma College is an attendance taking institution. which means we have to report attendance. And how I document attendance is I use things like these week evaluations. And when you open up the week evaluation, what you're going to see is the start of an attempt. I ask you what you think went well, what you think was difficult. Are there any specific problems or questions that you might have? Because I really want you to direct what kind of information you need. I will do small lectures, but again, I'm going to drive that a little differently than a lot of your other. I'm not going to talk. I'm not a talking head. I'm not going to talk at you. And then I ask some general questions. These are a do it and get the points. So they're really easy to get the points. But this is what I use to document attendance. So as long as you're filling out the weekly attendance, I'm counting you as present. Okay. So that gets you an idea that are there. So we have several different homework assignments that are already available. I try to have my homeworks open for at least a week in advance so that you have plenty of time to coordinate with that. One of the things for success in physics is to start your homework early, because physics is a puzzle. I mean, we're trying to tease out what the rules are for how things work in the world. And so we're trying to figure out those puzzles is what we're really trying to do. So the sooner you start your homework, the better and more successful you're going to be. Couple of reasons is physics homework is not really good trying to get it done 40 or 2 hours before the homework is due. That's just not, it's just not the way to do it. The other thing is if you start your homework early, you can ask questions. And you can ask, well, hey, this doesn't make sense to me. Can you show me a different example? What am I doing wrong here? Those things that are in there, that really is going to help. And your brain works. My son is a neuropsychology major. Actually, he teaches at Weber State University. He actually looks at how your brain works when it's trying to learn. That's what he does. He dissects bee brains and looks at how bee brains learn. And one of the things that we do is, even when we're not thinking about working on the problems, we actually are. So if we get stuck, sleeping on a problem really does help. So it really does help. And many of you have had a problem, you go to bed and the next morning you go, oh, I know how to solve that problem. If you wait until the last minute to do your physics homework that way, you don't get that opportunity. So that's one of the things. All your WebAssign homework has at least 5 tries. And I will even open up more tries in WebAssign. But a rule of thumb is if you've done it 3 times and you haven't gotten into the answer very well, that's a good time to ask a question. Now, am I doing it right? Am I formatting it right? What's the problem? I think I've already had one problem. You can use your ask your instructor, and I see those fairly quickly. And if you do those, I try to respond. And one, it was a formatting. It was a format issue. It looks like the person was doing the problem right, just didn't catch a little phrase that what WebAssign was asking them to do. So go ahead and ask those questions, because I try to look those up. So that's one way you can find your assignment due dates. Under your content, I'm going to encourage you to scroll all the way down. We will continue to add as we do this. As we get through the semester, you're going to see more and more modules here, and I'm going to provide you more videos than you can shake a stick at. I'm going to provide you a lot of information that's out there. I don't expect you to watch every video that I post. I really don't. The videos that, like tonight's video, you're going to see, like here we are, Introduction to Physics. The videos that I record here will go right here in the videos for spring 2025. But you will see that I have all my past videos are posted. Also, when you've got other resources here, here is laboratory resources, the video analysis tool, the OpenStax, cam scanner, all kinds of things. Here is my YouTube channel for my physics videos. I do have both engineering physics and general physics videos combined together on my YouTube channel. So don't panic if you run across an engineering physics one, don't panic, but you can just look for others. YouTube does a fairly good job with me in closed captioning. So those videos are available closed caption, and I will typically upload my videos for YouTube. Normally I don't do the announcement videos uploaded, but I will this semester. You have laboratory resources here. This is how you can obtain Microsoft Office products and Google Sheets. We will be using Microsoft Word or Excel or Google Sheets or in Google Docs. We will use a video analysis tool because a lot of the labs will utilize the video analysis tool. I have given you a supplemental textbook in addition to the textbook that we use primarily for class. A lot of times folks don't like how one textbook references something in another. This is an open source textbook, so you have that one as an extra. And because it may be a while since some of you have done some of the math that we've had, this will get you some of that math. We're going to be graphing in Excel or in Google Sheets. So I've got helps there. I've got helps and reference guides, all kinds of different things that are there. Those are all there available to you. I am asking that when you submit something that's not in WebAssign, that it is part of a PDF. And in order to do that, I've given you a PDF tool. This cam scanner is an app that you can put on your smartphone. If you use your student email, that will allow you to get the professional version for free. So that is a great tool to have from a work tool. So those are the things that are there right away to get us started. If you have, please introduce yourselves. I think I've already started responding to the folks introducing themselves. You want to get to know your classmates because your classmates are your best study buddies. And I encourage you to work with groups. That does help a lot. So that is out there. So now we get to the fun part. There's the syllabus. You've got the syllabus for the lab and you have the syllabus for the class. Those of you who are taking Gen Physics 1, you need to contact the Tonkawa bookstore to get the IO Lab device. You can rent it. They can send it to you. You can pick it up in the Stillwater. You cannot get it through the Stillwater bookstore. All right. You've got to get it through the NOC bookstore. We will be using that IO device. It is a compact little box. It's going to work just like the Vernier systems. It will use a USB port. So some of you who are using like a Chromebook that does not have the old USB port may need to work with a partner. We have a couple of ways of doing that. I also have information on how to do the USB to the USB-C type ports because some of the newer laptops are only coming with the C supports. But we will be using that device because as we do motion, that cart will give us a variety of things. Our first labs using that device will probably be in week 4. So we have time to get those devices. And you can rent it and then send it back. And usually we'll have it sent back before the end of the semester. So you're in good shape there. I just don't happen to have mine on my desk here tonight at home. And I can show it to you and get you more information. But I would start that process of getting that IO lab. Our first lab does not require the IO lab. but we will be doing the IO labs as we get there. When you open up the syllabus for me, you will notice it's got lots of extra things in here. We will use AI, artificial intelligence, and I have things that are in there for that. But in here, you will, first thing that you all want to know, we will use a Firefox application as well to do a lot of our laboratories. So that's one of the things that's there. My grading scale is not a traditional 90 to 100. It is 85, 87 and a half to 100, 75 to 84 and a half. So you've got that. It is very contractual grading. So you have a lot of control of your grade in this class. Homework and assignments are 30% of your grade. Quizzes are 25% of your grade. Your laboratory is 20% of your grade. And there is a catch on the laboratory. You must, if you miss more than 4 labs, it's an automatic F in the class. Laboratory is an essential component of this class. And we do a lot of real world lab. So we want to make sure that you're getting that laboratory experience. And so if you miss more than 4 labs, it's an automatic F in the course. So it is part of your grade. And then we have exams. And typically we try to do about 4 exams. And the final is per the exam schedule. My exams are, they do not require that you go to a testing center. My exams are open resource. So you have open resource. They are limited in time. You have like 48 hours to complete your exams. They are designed to be completed in about an hour, but they will open up and get in there. There'll be PDFs and you'll submit your PDFs. I do give partial credit, but that is one of the things that's in here. I am requiring that folks reference their resources. So if you use a resource on your exam, I want it referenced. If you on your laboratory memos, I want it referenced. I have given you examples of how to reference items here in the syllabus, and you have it as an extra PDF. So you don't have to keep opening the syllabus all the time. You can get in there and get that. And you have that there. How and when to cite AI is in there. If you're using AI as part of Microsoft Word or as part of Google Sheets, I'm not requiring that that be referenced because that's already built in. So we want that. But if you're using Bard, Gemini, ChatGPT, I'm requiring that you cite it. And here are the examples of how that is cited. When we use our discussion boards, we do have discussion board rules. The initial post needs to be made within 48 hours. And you need to reply at least 3 times because that is also part of the course. And make your posts meaningful, not the I agrees. You know, you can still do that, but I need at least 3 meaningful posts. Blackboard works with WebAssign, and we have lots of other grades that go in. And there will be times that I will tell you as we're working with WebAssign that I've made an adjustment in your grade in WebAssign. Once the grade is posted in Blackboard, you've got 10 calendar days to let me know if there's been an error. Sometimes when I type in a grade in Blackboard, my fingers get a little fumbled. And if it's wrong, let me know within 10 days, because I don't want to sit at the end of the semester and have us go back and say, well, remember when we talked about a lot of things are going to happen in the semester. So we want to keep the grades as up to date as we possibly can. If there's a dispute in the grades at the end of the semester, you know, right before finals, the deadline will be when we start the scheduled final time. So that's in there. I've got graphing standards. We'll go through that when we first do our graphs. I don't accept late work. unless it's an absolutely total extreme emergency. I will plan for your technical difficulties because your homework will be open usually for over a week. And I will not accept that, my computer crashed within 36 hours of the deadline. So be aware of that. One of the complaints that I get is that I have inconsistent deadlines. I try to be consistent. Life doesn't always work that way. But I try to make sure that I am consistent, but the real world doesn't have consistent deadlines. And we've got to work in the real world. And so it helps build some of those scheduling skills. But that calendar feature in Blackboard is really going to help you out. Then I am asking that you include a statement of original work on any PDF that you submit. As professionals, I think I have to sign an original statement of work or an integrity or this form is complete to the best of my ability statement on just about everything that I do. So we're going to start getting into that habit, especially now with AI and all of that. You'll have that academic statement of work. So I have those items there, and you'll see that there are other items are in there so that you've got them as separates. So when we get there. Here are resources. I try to provide you a lot of resources, as I said before, and we'll go through how I do my Zoom classes. I open up the Zoom class with the daily announcements. What's due? Where is it? Any changes to the schedule? Any of that thing? That's what I open up with so that you've got that. Then I'll stop that recording. And then we'll dive into any lecture material or introduction to the labs. And then after that, after we get through as much information as we need, then I will stay on for as long as you need me to answer questions or get help. In here, like I said before, you have lots of recordings. So I have historical lectures. Again, I am not expecting you to watch every one of them, but we all know we have good days and bad days. And some days I explain things better than I did before. So you may want to look at those. In folders that say examples and supplements, you will see example problems. You'll see videos on the why of significant figures. You'll see links to like the organic tutor on a particular topic. Here's a requested solution. Somebody asked a problem for a WebAssign problem. Here's help for various things. So a lot of times if you're struggling with a problem, there may already be a video out there for you. But feel free to email me and I may just point you to one of those. So you can see that there's lots of extra help for you so that you've got it. And it takes, and folks, I understand. I give you a lot of information. I give you more information than you'll ever possibly want to look at. And sometimes it's overwhelming, but feel free to ask a question. And again, some days I explain it better than others. So that's where that is. So you've got those solutions. I typically will have a folder for our learning module. So this is our introduction and motion module. And so the assignments for this one are right there and they're all grouped together. Okay, they're all grouped together and you've got your weekly evaluations that go in. And again, this is how I take attendance. As far as helps and tutoring, you do have access to tutor.com through NOC. So you do have that. We do have tutors on the Tonkawa campus and the Enid campus. So I'm available. There are other students that are available. And if you're an OSU student, the Lasso Center is also available. So there are tutors there. Let me see. The reason I don't start diving into lecture on the first week is that we still have students that can enroll up through Friday, and I don't want them to get terribly behind. So I'm not going to start with lecture material, but if you want to do lecture material, you've got lecture material. So again, I encourage you to start up early. The big thing that I need you all to do before the weekend is to get in and do that initial WebAssign. And again, if you go to your calendar and you look at due dates, I need you to get those two things done so that we make sure that we're not having any technical issues. Okay? Not any technical issues. And my voice is just about gone, guys. So I'm going to stop there, and and usually, by the way, I will have my chat open so that you can ask questions through the chat. So we've got that's in there, and then we can do anything else. So any questions that you guys might have? All right, I will get this recording posted as quickly as I can.